We've just recently heard from President Cyril Ramaphosa just this week some of the measures which government will be taking with regards to easing the current lockdown regulations in place. No major changes up until the end of May, where we will see now the easing of lockdown regulations. Just now, your stance and your general view of how government is dealing with the situation at the moment.
Well, firstly, the UTM wishes that both the government and the people living in the so-called hotspots should cooperate with each other so that the whole country could move to next level by end of May, as announced by the president. In doing so, it's going to be important that discipline must be maintained on both sides. If the president announced a program of action and then some of his ministers contradict each other, what I would like to see is that the directors general, meaning therefore the accounting officers for this department, should be in the forefront on the implementation of these announcements, as opposed to these prima donna ministers who are just there for parade purposes. So we need to be pragmatic and say, ministers, you will do an oversight. But the implementation of the program announced by the president must be implemented by the technocrats because they've got a know-how. It's embarrassing when you see some of these ministers here waffling on TV. So the UTM, therefore, let it be recorded. We were not drunk when we supported the lockdown from day one. And we are still supporting the lockdown. But what we are not happy is the implementation and the pace which the government has to looked at. Take, for instance, the UIF saga. Workers have been knocking in every door. Either the department is not ready or they are told that the money has been transferred to your employer and the employer is dragging his or her feet. Raises some questions as to whether in the first instance did those employers, when they deducted the UIF funds, did they transfer those monies to Department of Labor? This is a little bit chaotic when it comes to the implementation. And I hope that President Cyril Ramaphosa, as he has said, that today is going to sit with Labor, and I might call it NEDLEC if you want. What we want to hear from that meeting, the workers must say, in order to go back to work, this is what we require to ascertain that we are not going to be infected. What we want to hear from the business is to say we are ready, we have already done a lot of homework, and those who are ready, they can start moving in and start producing, because the unemployment as well as hunger is also a threat to the whole exercise.
And now, Mr. Holomisa, you're mentioning the issue now that our conversation is coming at a time where, of course, President Cyril Ramaphosa is meeting under NEDLEC with some of his ministers, Labour and Business. And now when we're looking at, the broader picture over here, which is, President having to choose whether to save more lives or to open up the country and the economy and saving the little bit that we have at the current moment. Let's talk a little bit more on the relationship the President has now already built with regards to consultations and as far as that is concerned, consulting with businesses and particularly politicians also. What's your take on that? How have they been faring and as far as consultations and engagements is concerned?
I'll speak on the consultation where we have had the privilege as politicians. These consultations are not in detail. They are not thorough. They are merely to inform us. Well, we're thankful for that, because sometimes you are briefed 2 hours before he makes an announcement, which means the speech has already been prepared. There is little you can change for that. But what I like about what he is doing now is to say, I'm going to sit down with network practitioners. Here is the agenda. Item 1, they exhaust and take a decision. Any consultation which needs to involve us, I recorded it in the last meeting with the leaders, that we would need a day or two, not few hours, to engage on each item so that we are in the same wavelength. So what President Cyril Ramaphosa has been doing is just to inform us, but he needs to change the tactics if he wants to buy our support. I see some of the political parties already reneging, if I may use that word in inverted commas, by saying they are going to court and so on. That's up to their right. But UTM is not going to do that.